Yeah, 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 Urko. Hey, 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 look.
Yeah, what's going on? I go by the name of Steph Urko, and welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Dungeon. How's everybody doing this beautiful weekend? I know I'm having a great weekend. Um, my wonderful co-host, Afropa. What's up, girl?
Hello, everyone. I'm good. How are you, Steph?
I'm kicking it like a donkey, but still funky.
Yes.
And and we got returning guest, OG Smalls.
Oh man, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Slow motion, man. Yeah, a little part time. You know what I mean? Extra couple chips. It don't hurt. Yeah, man. Stay working out there.
I got you, man. You gotta stay active out here.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's jump right into it. Today's topic, we talking about the Young Thug / Gunna trial. So everybody, anybody that knows rappers Young Thug and Gunna, they got caught up in a RICO charge earlier this year, and their music group YSL, is connected to a lot of crimes in Atlanta, like drug trafficking, gang violence, drive-by shootings, and a RICO, which we all know is a federal charge. They came down on them because they used lyrics from their songs and used that as evidence in court to arrest a lot of the members. And Young Thug and Gunna been in jail or been locked up for 6 months, 6 or more months. And Gunna, he just got out this week. And it's a video of him accepting a plea deal because a lot of people are like, well, how did he get out and nobody else did? And we have a small clip of Gunna in court accepting the plea deal. And let's take a look at it real fast. Here we go.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
All right. So after seeing this clip, what do you guys think about this?
Ladies first.
Well, you gotta put me on the spot. I thought it was interesting because everyone's talking about, oh, he is snitch, comparing him to Tekashi 6ix9ine, et cetera, et cetera. But when I looked into it, now what he said, it sounds real damning. You know what I mean? It sounds like, wow, you really have flipped the script on everybody who is supposed to be a part of your team or whatever. But it was called like an Alfred plea or something like that. So basically, the way the plea is supposed to work is you're like saying that you're innocent, but also saying that things could have been going on. And if you make that plea, yeah, I don't quite understand. At least that's how I was interpreting it. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody quote me. Google it like I did. Okay. Don't quote me. But it was interesting because it was like the idea that you're saying you're trying to both maintain your innocence while also acknowledging that illegalities could have been occurring. But also from what it sounded like is he's not going to testify in court against anybody. So I'm trying to figure out how does this whole thing work? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Smalls?
How can I say, like, none of his lawyers and nothing, this is like entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer. But I think he did a little bit more than he needed to. Like on some of the questioning, he was like positioning him to kind of give in order for him to, when actually he could have just clarify certain portions of, because once he say yeah, it's like what you say, it's like he agreeing to whatever, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's not, I mean, in his lane is like, yo, bro, you solidify, you stand on this, but you doing the most. It's like that's what Boozy was like. You ain't had to do that, Mike. Come on, man. Like, no, Mike. You said you the flip. So it's like, yeah, I kind of stand, but it's different times. Yeah, it's different times. Like I'm kind of with Boozy on it, just looking at you like, come on, man. But like, it's all entertainment purposes. And then on that, on the tight time, like they ain't have nothing when they arrested him. You know what I'm saying? Whether he got notification of that shit or not, of that or not. It's like, bro, what you doing? Like you was with the shenanigans.
Mhm.
So being with the shenanigans, you had to, hey, look, that's wild. Definitely
So-
wild. I mean, that's how he stood on it. You know what I mean? That's he got to stand on it. He had to stand on it. But that was different from how he approached things, or from how we see him as a public persona and how he approached things with, that type of, that turn. So let's, you know what I mean? It's something to look forward to in the music, though. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I mean? You can't count him out musically, but is, you know what I mean? The image, yeah, he got it, yeah, right. Yikes. He said,
Right.
yikes.
What you
Crying.
were saying, bro?
So I just want to clarify. So I looked it up. It's called an Alford plea,
Mhm.
which is it's a guilty plea in which a defendant maintains their innocence, but admits that the prosecution's evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict if brought to trial. So basically, you're saying I'm innocent, but the evidence is going to show that I'm potentially not innocent. And so in order to get that type of plea, you have to, like, because of the RICO charge and because of the group that he's involved with, when you make a plea deal like that, you are in some ways indicting, suggesting that the people part of your group are doing the bad stuff or doing the
Yeah,
illegal.
Right.
But I just wanted to clarify because I like to sound educated at all. So I wanted to clarify what that was.
Facts. You know what I mean? Fact check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got clap for that one.
Right. Fact check.
We got clap to go ahead, Afro.
I do what I can.
But my thing is this though, like I had to watch that clip like probably a good 3 or 4 times. All right, here's how I was always like taught. Like this is my principle on it. When you put yourself in a certain situation, you like, oh God, oh Lord.
No.
My thing is this: is like you and me, Afro. We always talk about accountability on this podcast, right?
Right.
So my thing is, one, I didn't like the way those questions were positioned because, like Smalls was saying, like you kind of was saying more than you had to in that plea deal. I'm just saying because, like you said, it was kind of a loophole. They're saying like I'm not snitching, but I'm just saying it's some criminal stuff that's still going on in our organization. I don't know, but it's something going on.
Facts.
But my thing is, if you choose to put yourself in that certain lifestyle or try to use this certain persona, yeah, I'm a street man, I'm about this life, my thing is you gotta stand on that. I'm sorry. It's like you can't be out here like saying like, oh yeah, I'm a street, like I'm about this life, and then get in court and talking about, well, I'm just a regular civilian, Your Honor. I don't know what those guys, those gangbangers, those hooligans was doing over there.
Your Carlton voice.
That part.
Exactly. You was right in that passenger seat with us when we was doing the shenanigans. No, my thing, like
you were in the studio writing the lyrics.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Pretending to be that. That's why it's better just to be your authentic self, because you know what? Even if you weren't out there doing illegalities, even if you and your group, your crew aren't, you have created a persona for yourselves that is larger than what you actually are. You know what I mean? You put that image out there, you put that message out there, so you can't be mad that people believe that.
Yeah. And that was one of the things they were saying about, you know what I mean, Jeffrey Williams compared to Young Thug. It's like, this is just a persona image that he's putting on, which is, you know what I mean, it's entertainment, yeah. But when you have certain with the questions brought up against you is like, all right, they try to kind of like combine the two. You know what I mean? And it's kind of crazy, like the criminal justice system. Like I was kind of talking with Hassan Freeman of the city, you know what I'm saying, for the neighboring community on reform. And he was just basically saying, like, you know, in the attempt to try to separate certain entities, so that way when it comes down to these bells and, you know, these motions, so that way it's not under one person. Because like his judge is basically on some, look, you did it until you ain't do it. And you know what I mean? No, I don't care if, you know, so-and-so said you didn't do it, you ain't had no part in it. You know what I mean? Basically everything that's presented is factual. It's never questioned, which is kind of upsetting, but you know, that's part of you know, the system of how stuff is set up. So
I got a question for y'all. So my thing, because obviously the ideal topic of this whole discussion is snitching. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. So like, do you think it like snitching apply to certain people, like a civilian versus somebody that claim to be about that life?
Yeah, so you got a civilian. A civilian is the person that don't get into none of the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Once you take a step into whatever direction, you no longer a civilian. You know what I'm saying? So Karen, Black Karen is because Black Karen's too. Black Karen, you know, you got the newsy old neighbor peeking out the joint. She calling the cop. She's a civilian. She just don't want the shenanigans around. She's snitching. You know what I'm saying? Karen, she's snitching. That's their fucking duty. That's their duty. Excuse me. That's their duty to do what they got to do as a civil right. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But once you enter something that don't agree with civil legal terms or whatever, then it's a problem, because then you took an oath. Once you step, it's like an oath. It's an oath into what you're doing. And you gotta step and stand on everything that you presented. You see what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh yeah. All right. It's like, oh yeah, you in it or you not in it. Like what do you like? Don't pick and choose. Oh yeah, today I'm out here.
They
like,
trying to do double jumps,
stop me, bro. I ain't out here, bro. You know, I ain't with it no more, bro. He's like, bro, I don't know, bro. You gotta sit down. You gotta take it with how it comes, bro. Like that's what it is. Ain't no crying about it. Because at the end of the day, you took a choice. It was A or B, red pill, blue pill. However you want to play it, you know what I'm saying? You may get a reset after they sit you the fuck down and be like, yo, well, I gotta create another option, because you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, that wasn't the best, you know what I'm saying? But once you taking a red pill, so to say metaphorically, it's like, yo, this is what you're into. So, you know what I mean? The chaos, the shenanigans come with it. So as an acceptance, you took an acceptance letter of that. You're like, yo, bro, this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the craziest part, because to think about it like this, you have to keep the separation between, if, you know, my endeavors aren't your endeavors. You see what I'm saying? So if my endeavors is what my endeavors is, why would I put you into it? So it has to be a disconnect, because you're civil. You're civil. So anything I do, why would I try to involve you? It's like, yeah, I expect you to tell on my dumb ass and that shit had nothing to do with you. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? So that's the acceptance letter though. But some people don't have that. Like, some people don't have that understanding. Like, yo, the acceptance of either A or B, red pill, blue pill. You think about a red pill, blue pill. All right, you can't just break off your pill and just be like, yeah, you was in it with me. You was in the fucking car. No, bro. Yeah, you listen. Even if you ain't telling, like, bro, this is what's going on. You gotta, yo, bro, like, get out the car or something. You know what I mean? Let him give him a tray. You know what I'm saying? Give him a tray. Let me out, dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the Johns. So it is. Some people get that line misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? Like, is either A or B, in my opinion. What you think about it?
So what I'm getting from what you were saying is either you're in that life, you're about certain things, or you're not. And if you're not, stay not. And you know, don't expect people who are not involved in certain aspects of, that type of life, to not snitch, to not call the cops, to not, that's part of it. But also, if you decided to be a part of certain things that we all know is wrong, let's be real, then you have to accept those consequences that come with it.
Yeah.
So don't act like, at least that's how I'm interpreting it. Am I wrong? Like, you're basically saying,
No, that's fact. That's exactly what I'm
yeah.
saying.
So if you can't be wishy-washy about it. You're either a part of it or you're not. You either right. And so don't go and snitch now that you got caught up when
Facts.
you knew that was an option. I can respect that. I can agree with that.
But it's and
But
and
I'm
then
snitching.
so what do
But
you
I'm
think
not
about
legality.
what's that? Yeah.
I
So
said,
so what do you think
I'm
about it?
snitching, but I'm not a part of no illegalities. And
Yeah, me either. Shoot.
I told my friends in college, I said, listen, if y'all gonna do something, don't tell me. I would be able to testify and be like, no, officer, she would never do such a thing. Don't tell me. Do not involve me. I want to be innocent.
Facts.
I want to be able to say the best things about you.
But that's once again having the respect for you to say, I wouldn't bring that around you, or I wouldn't let you be, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
consumed by that, because
Right.
that's me caring for you.
That's true.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
I
'Cause
think
other than that, there's a disconnect. You gotta
100%. I think what we really have seen, though, is people don't have that respect for one another a lot of the time, especially people who try to put on those type of airs, people who are trying to be something that they're not. So they can't respect, like, for example, if my music group, like my record label is involved in illegal things, why would I sign somebody on who isn't either aware of that or
Nah, he
also
was with it. He was with it. Gunner was with it.
exactly
He was all with it until it all went bad.
right? But that's exactly my point. Don't join a label like that if you are not also willing to be a part of that or willing to be indicted because of your association.
You really want to know from my perspective the more disappointing fact, you know what I mean?
What?
The timing that he was kind of facing wasn't extreme. And then on top of that, he
Like
was
5
probably
years.
only sitting for a couple months. You know what I mean? To have that man break down like that, you know what I mean? I guess as a young thug would have to appreciate it wasn't, you know what I mean? He may have a little bit more leeway to get out of the situation, but we gotta be blessed that it's not as extreme as somebody else's situation.
Honestly, what I think is they probably don't have as much on him as they hoped for or as they wanted to.
Yeah.
And so, okay, let's cop you a plea, even though 5-6 years is a lot to me. But it really isn't a lot of time. Think about how 5 years goes by real quick. Maybe not in jail, but 5 years, but 5-6 years in comparison to 20 years in jail, sure.
Yeah. She's saying, yeah, like
double digits. When it gets to them double
yeah,
digits,
he's like, look, he like got shut up and just keep walking straight. Like he just keep walking straight.
But they probably, what I'm thinking is they didn't have enough on him. So they said, let's do this Alfred plea. Let's try to convince him to do this. Oh, so you don't have to go to any jail. You just gotta do some community service. And even if you're not going to speak on the things that other people in your group were doing, now you look bad to everybody else. Now there is a target on you. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think is going on. And, like you said, about the entertainment value of it, because if they didn't want us to know all these details, they wouldn't
spill everything out for you.
Right.
You know
There
what I
wouldn't
mean?
be cameras in the court.
Yeah.
Because the judge allows that.
My thing is this too. It's like, I guess, like, to wrap it all up, it's just like, if what anybody can learn from the situation, it's just like I said before, if you're not about that life, then whatever. But if you portray yourself in that certain manner and you say that you about this life and I'm doing this and doing that, you gotta stay 10 toes down. You can't be out here trying to pretend to be something you're not, and then get in court and start crying, or like try to be like, "What are you talking about, Your Honor? I'm a regular civilian. You know, I go shopping every day. I go to Walmart. I go to Target. Like, no, man, you a street nigga. Remember? You was sketching bodies. Remember? You was in the bando. Remember? Come on, man. And it's like I also feel as though like once you reach a certain level of success and money, you gotta be more accountable and responsible of who you have around you, because whether he's doing the same thing as your man's was, at the end of the day, if you knew about it and you still let him be around you, you gotta take part of that accountability. You gotta share some of that blame because you knew about it, and instead of separating yourself from that business, you still chose to be around it. So you knew the consequences of what can happen.
Mm.
That's my thought. Anybody else?
No, that's true. But like I said, the enticing factor. That's why it's like you if you know what I'm saying. Like I was saying, as far as distancing, keeping that distance. That cold measure, because certain. If you care for your extremities, you have to compartmentalize. I learned this through different endeavors, but compartmentalizing so that way it's a security factor. So it's like a what you call that, a firewall.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you get past that, is like, okay, but you got the code to go through all the rooms, you know what I mean, and go through and check and see what's going on. Yeah. But it's a firewall for somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So that way it's like, oh, that's too far. You don't have that what you call that clearance. You don't have that clearance. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, is if you appreciate your extremities, you keep it at a distance, at bay. But it's the enticing factor that allows people to get drew in from what is seen as like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Even if your actions aren't as cool, you know what I mean? It'd be like, dang, like you doing that, like considering the state of where we at right now in the city is like, it's like, yo, you it's tripping, like. But it's like the enticing factor of, you got so many people dealing with mental health issues, certain things they see, they just like, dang, that's what I want, and it's like instant. Everything is instant gratification. So, you get drew into that. But I'm not gonna say the ambition is definitely that's the X factor, but it's just placed somewhere else. Like somebody just told me, if A equals X, you know what I'm saying, the algebra expression, you never know the outcome. You see what I'm saying? If your ambition equals X, you never know the outcome. Mm-hmm. So it all depends, you know what I mean? Like it all depends on how that energy is placed. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the energy is everything. But like I said, the enticing factor, and you see how like just Gunna was pulled into it. He got it instant. You know what I'm saying? Even with certain factors that I'm gonna say he said he knew what the fuck was going on. So excuse me, he said he knew what was going on. So if in the agree, he was enticed. He was like, dang, y'all. He like, look, I know how to put it together and listen, man, never mind that. Let's get to it. So he was with it. It's like, yo, let's go. And then, you know what I'm saying? What they say, plain clothes, people in plain clothes kick the door and all this and that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was inadmissible evidence that was presented to that and the cause of that. But it's like, yo, what, bro? Like, what? She's like, you gotta put yourself in different environments to kind of learn different stuff, though, and that's for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because any like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm the most ignorant person I know. And the reason why I say that is because I always try to figure out new stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you always trying to figure out something, then you ignorant to it. Because you're supposed to be. That's the part of finding. So I'll be like, yo, I'm sliz. Sliz is ignorance. So I'll be like, I'm sliz because it's so much stuff that I want to know. And I got a little like, you get the cover of the joint and just be like, damn, you got to figure out some more stuff. So, but back to it, like I said, Gunna is basically, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he was a puppet into it. He was a partition in the whole joint, but it's like, yo, your joint wasn't severe as somebody else joint. So it's like, and then you saying that he supposedly, you know what I'm saying, air quotes, he's supposedly supposed to harm somebody if this and that, boom, boom, boom. All right, so if he could have contacted you on that type of manner, why he couldn't contact you, be like, yo, just sit back, chill, everything gonna be cool. I just need you to be solid.
Right.
So, hey, come on, man. He say, come on, man. How you do it, man? Come on. He said, come on, man. He said, no, dog. Sit there, go right there. That's it. But yeah, no, he got it. Thug probably make out a little better than Gunna, even, you know, after this. You know. So hold on, were y'all Gunna and Thug fans?
I know I am. I was before this. So
Look. She's like, no, I listen to Ariana Grande.
Don't but like, don't play
It's like, yo, like, yeah, I love Ari too, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he mix it up, but
here, okay, listen, I definitely have heard their songs, but can I tell you a song of either of theirs that I like off the top of my head? No. But if you gave me songs, I probably could tell you.
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
see, yeah, you gotta check it on that one, right? But yeah, no, that's yeah, it's definitely but it's a dope factor to see this kind of you know, unravel in front of us, to be like, you know, people that's placed in certain situations, they be like, they regret it, and then they make certain choices that defines longevity. You know what I'm saying? And longevity is everything. So especially on the choices that your everyday choices. So your everyday choices has to be considered to your longevity effect. So you just think about it like that. And I think yeah, Thug gonna come out and you know, let's see what Gunna do after all this. Come on, man. Come on, man. We was rooting for you, dog.
You were.
Uh,
No, I'm kidding.
You said you. So
Just joking.
that's all I got to say about that. Any last thoughts, y'all? Are we good?
That was good.
we guys, I mean, we definitely good. I think you know, we gotta sit back and see what's gonna happen with that. You know, shock to everybody.
Well, I appreciate you being returning guest, Smalls. We gotta get you back on here, man. It's been a good
I
time.
appreciate it. Thank you. I see y'all soon.
All right, man. With that being said, I'll go by the name of Steph.
And I'm Amari, aka Africa.
And this has been
Smalls.
the Millennial Dungeon. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah. Ergo.